Hello, my name is Barky. I'm a Master Scala player at FGC Old Head. I've been playing Street Fighter since Street Fighter 2 in 1991, but it wasn't until 2020 I decided to focus on becoming a better player. This was back in the Street Fighter 5 days. Since then, I made it to Diamond in Street Fighter 5 and Masters in Street Fighter 6. My journey was long and I learned a lot along the way. In this video, I hope to give out 8 tips that I wish I had known when I started the journey of getting better. They are very general tips that will apply no matter what character or what level of play. Some of these tips are out there, but they are scattered in different locations, and some I think have not been articulated as clearly as I have them here. Either way, I hope these help you on your journey. 8 essential tips to climb to Masters in Street Fighter 6. Number 1. Anti-air. Jumping is a strong offensive tool in Street Fighter 6. Beginners feel this immediately. You don't need to play very long to find that jumping in seems to get you more hits overall, limiting your opponent's options. If nothing is happening, a low-level player's first instinct is to jump so they can start putting pressure on their opponent. Thus, it is used heavily in low levels. Learning to use your anti-airs to cover this is the fundamental of fundamentals in Street Fighter. There are few guaranteed opportunities for damage in Street Fighter, so taking advantage of the opportunities where damage is guaranteed is very strong. Unlike the ground, you cannot block in the air. Once airborne, you are susceptible to damage. This is why we focus early on taking advantage of this free damage. You anti-air typically in 2 ways, via a button, usually a direction plus an attack button, or a special move. Each character is going to have a button that is their intended anti-air button. This is a good place to start if you're worried about execution. Super Combo Wiki will show you characters' moves and their properties. Go to your character and search for anti-air, read what the description says, and find the best anti-air button you have. The second, and more common way to anti-air is special moves. This is the classic Shoryuken and Flash Kick. Not all characters have moves like these, but it's important to know if your character does have one. These special moves are designed to hit opponents out of the air with air invulnerability and quick startup, knocking your opponent down and pressing the advantage. Again, using Super Combo and searching for anti-air will get you what special moves have air invulnerability, and so you are immune to damage to attacks from the air. Special moves normally take more execution unless on monitor controls, so they are a few frames slower to execute than a button or normal, but the reward is normally slightly higher, both in damage and an advantage over your opponent. Using them both is ideal depending on the situation, but learning your special move first will probably be more consistent. Anti-airs are the quintessential fundamental in Street Fighter and arguably in all of fighting games. Anti-airs alone will carry you to gold. Number 2. Punish unsafe moves. How familiar is this to you? Certain moves in Street Fighter are very strong in a very specific way. They are invincible to all moves at their start. Beginners pick up on this very early and tend to spam these strong moves when they are in any kind of situation where they are not in control. That being said, are these moves just broken? As you'll find in all fighting games, all strengths have weaknesses. The stronger it is, the more of a weakness it has. Moves like OD, DP, and Supers have incredibly long recovery after it if they miss, meaning the player cannot block after using them, and are in a special state called Punish Counter State, where damage is increased and drive gauge is removed on hit. Learning to block and punish these moves will net you a massive amount of wins in the early ranks. So, we wait and we block one of these moves. What do? If you are on Modern, simply doing your heavy auto combo will be perfectly fine and will be all you need until later ranks. On Classic, you will need a very simple punish combo. Just a button and a special will be enough. If you have enough meter, you can also just do a raw super on their recovery. You just need something very basic that chunks the life of your opponent as they whiff these moves. Super Combo Wiki is, again, your best friend here. They will teach you basic punishes for the situation. The other old reliable in early ranks is DI. To a beginner, it seems to be the magic solution to any pressure, since it blows through 2 hits and crumples your opponent, leaving them open to whatever you like. Fortunately, countering this is even easier. Just DI back. Just like the previous case, waiting and DIing back will net you good damage in a very basic combo. Wait them out, counter DI, and most early opponents will crumble. As you go further, there are other moves that are not as strong as the one I've gone over, but still good, but also unsafe. But they require tighter timing and knowledge in order to punish. Tackling these moves requires going into training mode, using the frame meter, and seeing how to punish certain moves. This particular topic is out of scope for this video, but I hope to make one devoted to this topic soon. Until then, tell me in the comments what moves gives you trouble and what character you play, and I'll let you know what I find as an answer. This entire tip relies on something very basic. Block more. This leads me to the next tip. Number 3, do less. In low ranks, it is chaos. Players just do stuff non-stop, due to nerves, due to not knowing what else to do, because it can overwhelm. No one is still for a moment. Blocking is your best friend in lower ranks. Sit, block, watch what your opponent does, move around a little and see what he does. Throw a fireball and see what he does. Make mental notes. When they invariably do something unsafe, punish it. Developing this skill is crucial for higher ranks, and is a fundamental I think is not focused on as often. It doesn't matter how strong your character is if you know what your opponent is going to do. Blocking more leads to more reactive play, which will lead to, in the long term, more consistency. Blocking helps you minimize mindless play, which helps minimize unsafe positions you can put yourself into, leading to the next tip. Number 4, minimize unsafe positions. This step is mostly an inverse of the previous steps. Don't OD SRK randomly in neutral, don't OD flash kick randomly when you don't know what to do, don't let your opponents punish you for silly mistakes. Random DI in neutral seems strong at first, but will only lead to problems long term. Avoid this as well. Above all, try to avoid the corner if you can. If you see yourself getting pushed into the corner, find a way out. Try to make space, try to push out. The corner is the most dangerous place to be in Street Fighter 6, and avoiding the corner will help you from getting overwhelmed. It's not possible in all situations to avoid the corner, but make an effort if you have the opening. Simply jumping over your opponent can do a lot of work in avoiding the corner. Definitely abuse this. It's impossible to avoid all unsafe positions, but trying to minimize them will definitely help. Next, I want to focus less on specific in-game strategies and more on long-term habits to develop in order to improve. Getting better in any fighting game is a psychological exercise as much as a mechanical one, if not more. Keeping the proper mindset will help you overcome the many pitfalls one can fall into on this journey. Number 5. Embrace losing to get better. The paradox of winning. In fighting games, there is one of two outcomes, winner and loser. There is no kill to death like shooters, no team MVP consolation prize, no feedback other than win or lose. Because of this, tracking progress and growth can be very tough when trying to get better. Losing sucks. Our own psychology doesn't help either. Our intuition is this: I get better, I win more, that should be the cause and effect. However, getting better actually requires you to lose, and lose often. You must embrace this part of the journey to get better. This is the paradox of winning. In order to win, you have to spend a lot of time not caring about winning. Use ranked as a testing ground. Focus on specific things in your gameplay to improve. If you're following this guide, the first thing to focus on is anti-airs. Once you figure your button or special move, go into ranked with the specific goal of focusing on anti-airs. Winning or losing is irrelevant. All you care about is whether you anti-air or not. This is your measure of success. This kind of progress has its own progression as well. Steps that you go through as you incorporate something new into your game. As this video is long enough already, I highly recommend Brian F's video, Why You Lose More As You Get Better, linked in the description, that describes the steps of incorporating something new into your game. This process comes with its own frustration, but trust in the process and just do the thing. You will get better over time. Sometimes it's hard to even know in the moment how to improve or what needs to happen. This is where replay review becomes invaluable. Number 6, watch your replays of losses. If there is one thing that will improve your win rate after your fundamentals are solidified, it is watching your replays of losses. Humans are very bad at analyzing their own situations at the moment they are happening. We think there was a specific thing that was our problem, but on reflection, once the adrenaline has ended, it becomes clear the actual problem was something entirely different. Once you lose a ranked game, make a note of how you felt, what you think the problem was. It can be irrational if you'd like. Jinrai's broken, he just spams fireballs and I can't do anything. Then watch the replay in a few hours or the next day. Make a note of every single time you get hit, why you got hit, and how you could have prevented it. If there is one reason why you were hit more than others, getting jumped in on for example, focus on that for the next ranked match. Sometimes even analyzing your own replays, you can still feel lost. This is where the FGC can help. There are character discords for each character in Street Fighter 6, and all will help you with your game by analyzing your replays. Getting an extra set of eyes from experienced players can be invaluable. I'll put a link in the description that lists all the character discords, and feel free to reach out to me in the comments if you'd like a replay review. Once you have the aspects of your play you need to work on, it's time to get into the lab. Number 7, use trading mode to overcome unbeatable strategies. Early in Street Fighter 6, you will encounter situations that you feel are impossible, unbeatable, nothing will work. Knowledge checks and gimmicks are a huge part of early Street Fighter 6 play. Some strong set of moves or strategies that, if you don't know what to do, will make you feel helpless. Actual impossible situations don't exist in Street Fighter 6, except maybe Rashid level 2, but that's a longer conversation. There is always a counter, always a way to overcome what your opponent is doing. Use training mode to come up with a solution to the problem you are facing, and then implement that into your game for the next time you're experiencing the situation.
My favorite thing about the way Gumi plays is the game is very simple. The game is slide, Blanca ball, drive impact, command grab.
6 training mode tools are robust and in-depth, but an easy way to set up something like this is to record the bot doing something that you couldn't overcome, then attempting various strategies to overcome it. Once you have that down, use replay takeover in a previous replay to see if the strategy will work. This will be a powerful tool for getting better and overcoming seemingly unbeatable strategies. There are few better feelings than getting beat down by a particular strategy, coming up with a counter strategy, then meeting that person again and wiping the floor with them. After all this, there is one more tip I want to give, one that is more personal to my journey, one that is not often mentioned, and one that I think some will disagree with. This will be my hot take tip. Number 8. Don't do what the pros do. When I wanted to get better at Street Fighter, I was told to watch high-level play and do what they do. I did. I watched high-level guiles and tried to do what they did. I got slaughtered by gimmicks, knowledge checks, cheap stuff, because my opponents weren't playing like they're supposed to. This left me frustrated and confused. I thought I was supposed to be doing what the pros are doing. Aren't they the best? Why am I getting wiped trying to play this way? The answer simply is that high-level Street Fighter and low-level Street Fighter are completely different games. There is a different meta, different strengths of tactics, different weaknesses, everything is different. Playing like a high-level player in low levels will get you washed. In high level, players respect one another more, know the gimmicks, tricks, and knowledge checks will not work, so they play cautiously, use strong safe options and try to open up their opponent, along with surprises and attempts to overload the mental stack. In low level, these knowledge checks and gimmicks are extremely powerful, extremely effective, and players will spam them. You have to earn the respect of your opponent before they will respect you. This means overcoming the low-level tricks that are so prevalent in early play. Work on things that will get you stronger where you are. Continuing to watch high level is great, and steal some things from time to time, but understand the games you play are just on a different level entirely. Once I realized this, what I needed to focus on became so much clearer. I hope these tips help you on your journey. Remember that it is a journey, and that we are all at different places in our journey. Try not to focus on what rank you are, but where you are improving. What you have improved on, and amp yourself up over those things. Like Ryu says, the answer lies in the heart of battle. I hope to start streaming a few days a week soon with viewer replay analysis and coaching. I also do replay reviews on the Guile Discord regularly. You can find that Discord in the description. Feel free to drop a replay there, along with a description of what you see and what you think is a problem, and tag me. Finally, until next time, my name is Barky, and simply do less.